Let's check in on the drought and some other political issues too. We're joined from St George in Queensland by Bob Katter and Pauline Hanson, travelling drought-affected regions together. Thanks for joining us. You're in Barnaby Joyce country.
No, we're not.
He hailed from St George.
He's the other side. He's the other side of the. Oh well, he's at the other side of the border.
Playing for the Blues.
He slipped back across the border, indeed, but St George is where he made his name initially in politics. I want to come to the droughts in a moment, but a related issue, Pauline, I'm just reading in the Courier Mail, a story has been broken there. I'm not certain who's written the story. I'm just checking as we speak. I think it might be Renee Valaris. Indeed it is. She breaks a lot of stories, does Renee. She's telling us that you're doing a deal with the Labor Party to save the dairy industry. Tell us what's going on there.
Well, it's not actually a deal. I put up a private members bill to save the dairy industry, so we have a set farm gate price set by the ACCC. It also includes a mandatory code of practice, and it calls for divestiture of the processors so they can't control the market. Now, this is a private members bill that I put up. The Labor Party have given me some of their time on Monday to ensure that the bill comes on the floor of Parliament and to be debated on. Then I hope that it will be voted on and get it moving.
Yeah, so this is the point.
The Labor Party moved for a minimum price scheme.
Yeah, but Labor are helping you out effectively, Pauline Hanson, by giving you the time. Yeah, and of course, so this will come to a head.
I'm very appreciative. Yep.
It'll test out the Nationals.
Very appreciative of it. I did have my time on the Thursday, but whether it could have got to vote, that was doubtable. Now, with the Labor giving me that time, they are very supportive of the dairy industry. I've spoken to Albanese. He said, yes, Labor will support the dairy industry. So now it's up to the National Party and the Libs to come on board with this and ensure that dairy farmers have a viable industry and are paid the right price for their milk.
So that's going to play out in the Senate, and then it might come down your way, Bob Katter.
Well, you know, I've moved 3 times for this and I got no support in the House of Reps except from the crossbenchers. But the Labor Party moved for a minimum price scheme before the last election. They would be arch hypocrites if they didn't back Pauline now. Point 1. And point 2, I think there will be an imperative and a momentum built by Pauline in the Senate that will enable us to get the numbers in the House. There's at least 2 people contemplating crossing the floor. So if the federal government doesn't come into it, they're going to be deeply embarrassed in the House of Representatives.
Well, I think it's going to put the National Party on notice here. If they're accusing me of taking their policies with the mandatory code of conduct, they've sat on their hands for the last year and a half. It was in the bottom drawer. It's going to stay there.
The last 20 years.
Well, yeah. The hard fact is that if they don't support this, it shows them what they are. Bloody hypocrites. Get out there and support the dairy and farming sector that we're losing in droves, or they're suiciding. So they've got their chance on Monday. Show us exactly where you stand.
I can't help but say their 4 spokesmen all said, if you give any assistance to the dairy industry, you'll destroy our international trade agreements. That's a terrible statement to make. Threatening Pauline and myself and the other supporters.
Well, this is going to be fascinating. The parliamentary vote here will be fascinating. But just to clarify, Bob Katter, you're saying if it does get through the Senate, that you believe it could even get through the lower house with what, Nationals defectors?
I'm not going to say. I'm just saying that I think there's enough momentum there for us to have a real ball game that we can get there. I think there's a very real chance that we'll get there in the House of Reps if Pauline can bring it off in the Senate.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that, because what it's likely to do is bring the government to the table to try and work through issues and do something everyone can agree on. I just want to quickly, because we are now running out of time, get an assessment from each of you of what you've seen about drought-affected areas in the last couple of days, Pauline.
The people here are absolutely devastated. In Charleville, we had about 85 people turn up at the meeting last night in Cunnamulla. On Melbourne Cup Day, 50 people in the pub. It was full. People are devastated. What's the problem is that if you go to Charleville, you have mulga. The state government are refusing the farmers to cut down the mulga to feed their cattle. This is fodder. It is fodder and it will regrow again. That's the state government. You've got not only on the farm household package, which is not helping the farmers enough, it's got to go beyond the 4 years. It should be during the whole drought-affected time plus 2 years beyond that, because it takes a farmer 2 years to recover. They've got to look at the off-farm household, what they're making off the farm, because if they're making money off the farm, they can't then put in bores and wells. They need to clean that out, and it should be subsidised by the government. They're saying that the rates that they're paying the councils is killing them. They can't afford the rates. Small businesses are feeling the effects of this. There has to be tax assessment or assistance to the businesses in tax relief for small business as well.
Yeah, some rate,
farmhand workers that they can't pay.
Some rate relief certainly sounds like it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, Bob Katter, we are expecting to hear another drought package announced by the federal government tomorrow.
They said that we knew that they were going to come out with this and we raced in to get the credit for it. Well, I think we're not clairvoyants. We might be a lot of things, but we're not clairvoyants. But we hope to put pressure on them, and that pressure's working. But look, in every single upheaval in primary industries since 1900, there has been a state bank, a reconstruction authority. They borrow money. The government is currently borrowing money at 1.5%. They can loan it out at 1.5%. And really, that's 90% of the problem removed. 90% of the problem removed. They can do that tomorrow. But the farmers and the business people, they can't take more debt. So you've got to take the bank debt away. So there's two elements to a reconstruction authority, and that's the way we've done it for 100 years in this country, till the free marketeers took the power away, and that's really what spawned people like myself and Pauline.
We are out of time. We are out of time.
1.5%.
Sorry, we are out of time. I just want to ask you how you're getting along. You haven't got on each other's nerves yet?
Oh, here you go. Bloody media hype again, beat up. The marriage won't last. We're getting on fantastic together. We're great mates. We work well together for the people of Queensland. And I wish some other politicians would understand that you can work together for the people.
Great stuff. Thanks so much for joining us.
I've been married for 50 years and we've never agreed on anything.
Thanks,
My wife and I.
Oh, shush, Bob.
Thanks. We'll leave them there. We'll leave.
See ya.
We will leave Bob Katter and Pauline Hanson there on their travelling vaudeville show.